Ari on the mic. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. All right.
Hey.
It's a party. What's
Uh-huh.
up?
Hey, Ari.
Yeah, I'm doing good. Look at all these pretty ladies.
Okay.
Hey.
Yeah.
Okay,
See, you could only see from my chest up, so you can't see my boner. It's better
Oh.
that way.
Listen, you don't need to have that right now. You have enough of that. Listen.
you know what? I adore you. You don't look too bad yourself,
Welcome.
sir. You don't look too bad yourself. Okay.
Thank you.
Well, welcome everyone to the
Yes.
show. We kind of already did the introduction and everything of that nature before you guys came on. But I want to welcome you all here and thank you so much for being with us.
Yes.
So this
Thank
is
you.
exclusive right here. Okay.
Yes. Yes.
So, Ari, for you, can you take us back to the beginning and how did this idea manifest to life? We're helping
Yeah.
so many women.
Mm.
You started. It really started very similar to how it's continuing. My first two people that I helped, one was a single woman that was in her 40s, and she was a Mr. Right, and she lived on the Upper West Side of Manhattan. And the other one was a lesbian couple from Chelsea, just 2 miles south of where this other mom lived. And both of them wanted to grow their families and needed my help. And both of those children are 12 years old now.
Oh.
Oh, check
But
it
it couldn't
Wow.
be more different because one has like a shaved head with, and is a Hasidic Jew, and the other one has like long dreadlocks and, is African American. And at some point in one day they will meet, I'm sure.
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah, it'll happen.
Is this something that you always wanted to do? Like, what was people
I
always have
always
their
said,
thing.
I always wanted to say I want 100 kids, since I was
Really?
a
Oh,
little
okay.
boy. No,
Oh,
no, of
Oh,
course not. I grew up a very sheltered life. I didn't really know what
uh,
I wanted. I thought I would just get
okay.
married and have a very traditional family like all my brothers and sisters.
Okay.
It's not something I always wanted. I mean, of course, I'm from a big family, so I envisioned the big family, but my idea of a big family was not 100 children. My idea of a big family was, two boys, two girls, or like I wanted seven. I thought that would be nice.
Hmm.
But I think maybe the reasons I started isn't really the reason I'm continuing. I mean, the reason I started, maybe there was part of like I want to grow a family. I'm from a big family and like a boy and a girl. My first five children were boys, and then I had my five boys, and then I had a girl. But at this point, with 84 children, I don't really need to grow my family anymore. So it did transition, I think, after the first couple of kids, because a lot of people have, start a family, right? But not so many
Mhm.
continue. So I think the reasons I continued were different than maybe the reasons that I started.
Yeah.
awesome.
Okay.
Awesome. So I had listen to me, Ari, because I'm trying to figure it out. How do you compose like you are so bubbly, you're so excited, you're full of life. How do you do that? Like how do you keep that up? Like with everybody like on you and attacking you and don't like what you're doing, and you're just like, yeah, F you too. Have a great day. Like, I love that. Like, how do you do that?
I was on Dr. Oz the 2 weeks ago, and people called me. They were so upset about some lawyer that came on for the last couple minutes and said bad things about
Okay.
me. And I was like, well, that's nice to give both sides. That's okay. I mean, they gave me like 90% of the show, and then they gave her a couple minutes to give another point of view. I
Okay.
thought it makes
Period.
the show, it makes it more compelling. Sometimes
Okay.
it's nice when you hear both sides and both points of view. And I think people that want to have a negative opinion about it, ultimately, in the end, these aren't people that know me or that care about me. If they could read an article and have a negative opinion about me, that's really just a reflection of the kind of person they are. And I
That's
don't think it really has
true.
anything to do with me because they never met me. And I
Right.
think ultimately I'm not one of those people that really, you know, would say, I don't really care what anyone thinks. No, that's not true. I do care. People's opinions matter to me. But in the end, the people that love me and care about me are the opinions that matter most, right? Because even
Hmm.
though their opinions matter, obviously, as they're closer in the people that know me, so certainly Shauna and Devin, their opinion matters to me. I care about them. They care about me. There's a lot of love back and forth, and I value very much their opinion. And then I think in the end, ultimately, the opinion that has to matter most has to be your own opinion. And that's your opinion
Yes.
of yourself. I can't take a poll and decide what I think I should do every single time, and then see what America decides. In the end, you have to do what feels right in your heart.
Nice.
That's what's
Nice.
up.
That was very well said.
Yes.
I'm trying to
And
figure it out.
Shauna and Devin, I want
Yeah.
to ask you girls something. How did you guys come across Ari? Like, how was that? Like, take me from the beginning of that. Like, you guys are talking about
Yeah,
having
like
kids and
I'm
like, how
about
did this? Yeah, this
Well,
bundle of joy.
we had a conversation on our first date. Just getting
Oh,
Oh, y'all are so married.
y'all just married.
um we had a conversation on our first date, just getting to know each other, basically putting out there what we expect, what we will accept from each other. And so Sean shared with me that she was tired of being with women and breaking up with them having children, and the relationship with her and the children, and wants to break up.
Mhm.
Says she had a woman that would have a baby for her. So I had 5 kids before Kari.
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean, I had done it many times. I was a pro at this thing. So I said, if we get married, I have a baby, because I'm not gonna just have a baby and then we be going through the riff raff and back and forth. It had to
Mhm.
be a commitment made between us before we decided to have a baby. So we got married, and then
Nice.
we got married December 4th. And then I'll say New Year's Eve, we were at her mother's house, and she was like, "Okay, so you ready to have a baby now?" And I'm like, "Wait,
dang.
I know that's right.
Okay, we married. Let's go.
right." So I said, "Okay." So I started conditioning my body, and we started looking for donors. We went to unknown donor sites or known donor sites, and we was just running into a bunch of creeps. Like, they were really, really nasty men. They and that we had to do it the natural way, and I was like, "Look, sir, that's not gonna work for me."
Mhm.
They would ask for a picture of me, and then they would hit me up behind Sean's back and ask to take me to lunch and dinner and whatever.
Terrible.
Um, we asked Sean's brother, and he said no. He wanted to wait till he was married and had his first child with his wife, which is understandable.
Mhm.
A couple of guys that Sean knew, but they had reservations. We were like really in deep with one guy, um, and he was so excited at first, and then spoke to his father and his brother, and they said they didn't want him to be a deadbeat father, so he kind of asked.
Oh, okay.
We were really stressed out trying to figure this out, and so we were talking around some friends of ours, and they said, "Well, have you heard about the white math professor that's giving out free sperm?" And we looked at what?
Okay.
What an introduction.
As he sips.
Okay.
Right. um, of course, we looked at each other and we was like, played it off in front of them, because like, okay,
Right.
got in the daggone house. We both pulled out our phones and started googling. Math professor giving out free sperm, and then when Ari's name popped up, we messaged him in his inbox, and it was just
He was just like,
yeah. He
okay.
was just like, "Okay, just let me know." You had questions.
Wow.
He let us know that he was pretty much an open book. Any questions that we had to ask, he would answer. And so from that point, um, I still don't think we were settled on Ari after our first,
Encounter.
our first
Mhm.
conversation with him, because, um, I don't know. I don't know. Anyways,
I think because
oh,
media
a lot of
attention.
media attention. We didn't want to be on the media at first.
Gotcha.
Okay.
I was gonna ask, did it make you nervous? Like, that's what I was gonna
It
like.
did, because at first we wasn't gonna have whoever our donor was involved with our child.
Okay.
Okay.
And that's it. But once we started going on Ari's Facebook page and seeing all the pictures of him interacting with the other children. And then we started talking to some of the other moms that were already, moms of children. And we got to the point where we were like, it would be bad for, well, not bad, but it would be unfortunate if we didn't allow him to have a relationship with our child, as well as depriving our child of a relationship with him, because he's really a great person.
Mm-hmm.
So it started out with us not wanting the donor involved until we met Ari. Then we were like, we couldn't say no. It was just like, I had to be in the works. And just coming from the situation of Sean not really knowing her dad like that, and me not knowing my dad like that, I did that away from Kari. I wanted her to, even like, we're her parents that she sees every day. She knows that she has two moms and a dad. So we hit Ari back up and we was like, okay, we're ready this time. And he was like, okay, sure, just let me know when you have a positive ovulation test. And that's how it happened.
Wow.
Awesome.
Look at that.
Oh,
Okay.
Look at
this
that.
is making me all bubbly on the inside part. Like, my heart is just so overwhelmed that someone that's so, amazing would just be like, okay, listen, people want to have babies, let's make it happen. Because it's so hard and it's so expensive.
Right.
And listen, Ari, I was mad at the Oz show. You hear me? Because I was like cursing out Dr. Oz, everybody Oz, and that little piece of lady at the end. Because, honey, she had me all messed up. But it like I don't like how they made it, they were attacking you, and I didn't like. Of course you was like, yeah, F you, have a great day, but I didn't like it seems to me like they tried to make you say, oh, I have a problem and this is why I want to do this, and my upbringing was so this way, and this is why I want to have this kind of life. Did you feel on any of the shows that you've been on, have you felt attacked in any way? And if so, like, how did you handle that?
The whole time I was on the Dr. Oz show, all I could think about was the fact that, they scheduled this interview like a month in advance. This is the day of the filming. They had COVID tests and production crews that they had to prepare for. And then 36 hours before I'm supposed to go on air, I get a notification from a woman in Connecticut that my IVF is scheduled for that morning as well. And it was scheduled at the exact same time as the filming. So here I am, that she's already taken medication. I can't cancel on her, this is the day of her retrieval. And I can't cancel on Dr. Ross. I already committed. So I was trying to work out where I'd be able to do both. So while I was doing the interview, they were already doing the retrieval. But the doctor said, yeah, as long as you get there by 12 o'clock, you're good. And Dr. Ross just kept on asking more and more questions. I didn't realize I was going to be the whole episode. I thought I was just going to be 10 minutes, and then it kept on going. I was like, listen, I have a hard out, like I told them about this IVF, they had Barbara Corcoran on before me. And I think that, it just, with COVID, everything just took a little bit longer. So that's all I was thinking about the whole interview. And I think for that IVF, literally, as soon as the show ended, I just ran to my car and drove straight to Connecticut and made it on time. And in fact, she made a whole bunch of embryos, and she's pregnant now with twins. In fact, she made a whole bunch of embryos, but they only implanted one because she just wanted one kid. But then it split, so now she's pregnant with twins, and so it was a success.
Wow!
Listen, because the doctor said you had grade A sperm, correct? Like. It was something to that effect. I'm just paraphrasing, but that's why that's why she got twins.
Yeah,
because you got grade A. Yes,
but I thought it would have been a more compelling episode if I was able to stay those last 10 minutes, and then I could have debated that lawyer and then shared my point of view, because I didn't always agree. But in the end, ultimately, I think it is good to show both sides and why, share people's different opinions. And I think in the end, he really gave me a lot more airtime than they did her. And,
exactly.
Yeah, but ideally, we should have both been there.
Yeah,
right.
I guess.
Right. Ideally, yes.
Do you have like a system? Is there a system how everything works?
Yeah, I'm very system. I just say yes to everyone who asks. That's my system. And it's been working.
Oh,
Uh,
okay.
I'm batting 1,000 because every single one of the moms are just amazing moms. All these children are very wanted. All these children are very, very loved. Of course, I could have different parenting styles. So I have lots of kids that are having very, very different upbringings, but all of the children are very loved. And I think in the end, ultimately, that's what matters most.
Absolutely.
Nice.
Absolutely.
And as far as birth certificates, I know you've signed some. Do you know offhand how many you've actually signed?
Hmm. Yeah, maybe like a dozen, but no, I couldn't even tell you the
Oh, a
exact figure.
dozen.
But I keep a copy, of all of them. I have a little folder in my office.
Mhm.
Oh wow, nice.
Yeah.
Oh, good. Good.
Yeah, it varies, and sometimes it's dynamic, sometimes it changes. So sometimes they don't want me on the birth certificate, but then we might add it at a later date. And it's something that's very easy to add a name to a birth certificate. It's very difficult to take a name off a birth certificate. That's extremely complicated because sometimes when you want to do that, you need lawyers, and it could be challenging, especially if they're fighting the fact that they don't want to be taken off. But adding a name is just you sign an acknowledgement of paternity. Boom, put the name on.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
A lot
Nice.
of the women that reached out to me, I don't know them, so then they don't want to add a complete stranger onto the certificate. I met them once, they got pregnant, and then 9 months later. But then after a couple of years, if they feel more comfortable and they wanted to add it, of course, I could add them to my insurance plan. So if the kids are on Medicaid and they don't need it, that's fine. But if they want to private insurance, I work for the city. It doesn't really cost me anything to add another name. So I have a couple of kids on my insurance.
Oh, wow. That's
Nice.
good.
That's interesting. That's
Yes,
Yeah.
you are Mr.
And
Nice
then,
Guy.
of course, I
Okay.
have some, kids from abroad, and I have a woman pregnant in Africa now, I have a woman pregnant in
Uh-oh.
Europe, and if they want to get the child U.S. citizenship, then I probably would need to put my name on the birth certificate so that we could file the
okay.
proper paperwork. I have a daughter in Africa, and she's 1 year old, and we're trying to bring her to the U.S. and we've been
Aw.
working with the U.S. Embassy in Accra, but it's very, very challenging because, of course, with COVID, it's just so difficult to get
Mhm.
an appointment. But that's what I've been working on a lot this month.
Okay.
Mm.
Awesome. To
I
our
have a question. Oh, go
mommies.
ahead.
Oh, no, no, go ahead, Mel.
No, go ahead.
Okay. To our mommies. I just love you guys. Hi.
Hi.
Are there any, would you say, are there any well, I know the pros, but are there any cons to this method of conception? And if there are, can you share with those who want to do it but kind of scared because they don't really know what's going on and how to go forth with that?
You the talker. Personally, I don't see any cons. You get to know who your child is coming from. And so it's never a wonder of when Kari walks a certain way, who she walks like.
Mhm.
Mm.
Or if she says something, where she gets it from, or even from day to day, she looks like me and she looks like Ari and she looks like me. But I feel like when you go to sperm bank and they just give you a number and they give you this file to look through, it's not answering any questions.
Mm.
It's just like
True.
whoever they want to throw in there, and people get paid to donate sperm. So it's just like, you go, you donate sperm, you get a check. There's a lot of people who do that every day with like day-to-day labor jobs.
Mhm.
There's really
Mm.
nothing into it. So with me just being able to sit with Ari and have a conversation with him, if I had to ask about his family, I can't ask about his family and know my child's heritage, other than my side.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Um, to me, it's the best way. Everybody doesn't agree with it, but I mean, everybody, whatever floats whoever's boat is what works for them. But for us, for her to be able to wake up in the morning and say, I want to call my dad,
Mm.
and for us to be able to let her FaceTime him, and just those moments, like I think it was 2 weeks ago, Kari was like really, really sick and she would not take her medicine. And we're like, okay, let's call Ari and see if Ari can get her to take her medicine. And Ari is like, please do it. She's like, Daddy loves you. Just take your medicine. You know. And she's like, she she's a baby Leo, so she's gonna get pushed back anyway. But
Yeah.
Ari's a Leo, Devin's a Leo, and Kari's a Leo.
yeah.
Oh my God.
Oh my gosh. Oh my God. I'm gonna pray for you.
So, but eventually she took her medicine, and I feel like those are the important things in life. People always want to say things that don't make no sense to us. Like, we knew what it was when we decided to ask somebody to have a baby, like help us have a baby. We weren't expecting financial gain from it. We wasn't expecting Ari to come and bring diapers or run Kari to daycare for us. We're two grown, mature women that knew that we were ready to have a family. So when people bring up stuff like, oh, why would you do it with him? Oh, he should be paying child support for all of these children. That's not his responsibility. It's really not at the end of the day. And that's mainly the thing that we face about us using a known donor. Or people have this thought that we all have sex with Ari in order to conceive that way. And that's not true. My baby came in a cup. Okay.
Okay. Yes, a soft cup. Yes.
Yes. It's just like they'll call us disgusting because we know the donor. But how disgusting is it for you to insert sperm inside of you and you don't even know where it comes from?
Okay.
Exactly.
I feel like
so involved, like
right. Or you just sleeping around with everybody and don't know who your baby daddy is.
Okay. Well, a word right out of my mouth. It's no different.
It's no different.
No different.
But they seem to drag us through the mud because we chose to use Ari as a known donor, as a free donor,
as a white donor.
As a white donor, we get we don't love our culture, we don't love our skin because we use the white donor. And I'm like, first of all, nobody is purely anything at this point in life.
That's
like the way everybody been mixing, mingling, you don't have a pure anybody. So even these people that's out here that think they're pure black, you're not. And the people who think that they're pure white, you're not either. So y'all just need to go on ancestry.com and check that.
Right. And get the truth, get the facts.
Right. But they don't understand being lesbians. It's expensive to have a child. And why would I want to spend my whole life savings, or collectively our whole life savings, on a sperm bank? And then when my child get here, I got to put up a GoFundMe for diapers.
Ain't gonna work. Don't make sense to me.
Don't make sense to me either.
Make it make sense. That's all I say. Make it make sense.
I personally don't have a con with it. Just to go back to answer your question, I don't have a con with it.
Okay.
Like I said, to each his own. Maybe some people feel some type of way, and that's how they feel. But I mean, I respect it either way. If you feel like it's not for you, then it's not for you.
Right.
But we don't have a problem with it.
That's fair. Thank you for sharing.
So how do you all, like, even with moms, like, how do you all find a way to spend time? Because Ari, I know you're very involved. Like, is there ever like any issues with, like, okay, I'm gonna be with this baby today or this child today, and then the other mom gets jealous or anything like that? Have y'all experienced anything?
Oh, they laughing.
Yeah.
He's smirking, they laughing.
Just like a traditional.
We know each other. We know each other a couple years already, right? And I could. It's not even I could count on one hand. I could tell you right now, we fought 0 times. We've never had any fights. Period. And how many moms and dads can say that?
Right.
Kari's never seen us fight, but not because we're fighting in private. Kari's seen us fight because we've never fought. We've never had this agreement. Of course, I'm letting them make 100% of the parenting decision, so there's very little for us to fight about because we both want what's best for Kari. They get to make all the decisions. Of course, they're doing all the work, but no, there's no jealousy because I think there was also no intimacy. There was no dating. There's no history. The moms aren't jealous of each other. They get along with each other very, very well generally. And if they don't get along, then they don't have to. They don't have to be in a relationship with each other. They don't have to love each other. But of course, there's 84 moms there, and they can pick and choose which ones they feel most comfortable with and which ones they feel a connection with. And, some of the families keep to themselves, and then some of them, develop very, very close relationships with the other moms and the other kids.
Okay.
So Ari, I know you mentioned something as far as dating. When you grow older and you no longer, are the sperminator, produce sperm,
You
do you think
retired.
that's when you'll start dating, perhaps?
I've had a lot of short-term relationships. I haven't been a very good boyfriend. I mean, at the end,
Okay.
I didn't rule it out. Obviously, if I fall in love and my partner, was wanted me to retire, I'm totally okay with that too. I'm 45 years old, and
Oh,
I'm
you
not going to
still
be doing this
young.
when I'm in my 50s. Uh,
Mm.
my dad had my younger sister when he was 46, so he keeps on telling me to stop, but I was like, listen, you didn't stop till you were 46.
Okay.
My mom had me when she was 25, and I was her fifth child, and I know her parents were telling her to stop having kids, and she didn't listen. I still have a younger brother and sister, so yeah, of course I will date more seriously. Obviously, it's a little difficult to be in a relationship while you're helping other women grow their families.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I helped a woman from Staten Island today, so that means that if my girlfriend or partner wanted to be intimate last night, and I said, well, I can't really be intimate with you because I need to save my sperm for this woman who's coming tomorrow who's ovulating, that's not really something it would be fair to ask anyone to accept. Um,
Yeah, that's true. Mm.
Ideally, you want to abstain, for 24, 36 hours, 48 hours in between donations. So
Ooh.
it makes it a little difficult, especially while I have so many, I have over 20 women pregnant right now.
Mm.
Over 20.
And
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, and
I,
Still.
three of them are having twins. So
I would just
Wow.
like to say, whoever dates you will have to very much so be comfortable with you having like so many baby mamas. Because look,
Yes.
baby mamas, we
yeah,
deep now.
Okay.
yeah, yeah.
When
But
you get
there's no baby mama drama. It's a lot of
I
love.
love it. I
Okay.
love it.
That was
Yeah.
gonna be one of my questions.
Ari, you're gonna hit 100. You're gonna hit 100 this year.
Yes, if everyone delivers on their due date, I will hit 100.
Wow.
Who's
Wow.
gonna be the 100th?
Who's going to be the 100th? Well, it's
Well,
hard to say. Right
Carrie.
now, if they all deliver in order, it's tough because with twins, usually they induce them at 36 weeks. They don't let it go full term, especially if they're a little older. But right now, it looks like it'll be a mom in Europe who's expecting twins. So I guess she might be
Mm.
number 100, but it could be a woman from Harlem, not too far from you. Uh,
No,
Mm.
she said she was hoping to be the 100th mom.
No.
Okay, y'all fussing over. Yes. They fighting.
Well, that's
Fighting,
good
Ari.
because that takes me
Well,
right
I
into
tried
my
twice. A lot of
But
people don't
yeah.
know, but I
right. I was
tried twice.
saying that's good because that took me right into my leadway for you, Shauna. If given another chance, would you consider um being a carrier?
I'm going back and forth with it. There's times when Kari is like running around and she's doing too much. I'm like, nope, I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
And then there's times it's like, I do want a legacy of my own. Devin, she carried Kari, but I do want a legacy of my own. So in that retrospect, I think I do want to carry.
Yeah, but it doesn't
Um,
really matter what she thinks because as a family, we all took a vote,
Oh,
and
okay.
me, Devin, and
Okay.
Kyle, we all voted unanimously that she needs to get the show on the road already. So
Okay.
she's
Yeah,
outvoted.
you
It's a democracy.
man.
maybe you
I
Listen.
don't care what she thinks because she
125.
voted.
it doesn't really matter what she
Ari
thinks.
said what he said now.
maybe
Yes.
maybe she could be have baby 125, 115,
Ooh,
somewhere in
Okay.
that range.
Or
Okay.
126, right? What is Kari? 26?
29.
She's
Yeah.
29.
What? Well, if we want another Leo, we could just time it out.
She
Oh
would.
gosh, another Leo. You hear that, Shauna?
that's too
I
much.
heard it loud and clear. Nope, we're not doing that.
Then we got to
Wow.
try now.
Okay. Ari is ready.
Okay.
You
Ari is
stay ready,
always.
Ari. We know you stay ready.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm very ready with all these gorgeous ladies. I'm ready to explode.
Yeah, yes.
Oh, hey, stop it.
Stop it,
Yeah.
girl. Okay.
Oh,
Ready.
My child will be a hot mess.
Wow.
Me. Y'all do not want me to have a junior. Yes.
Oh,
Hey,
yeah.
Yes.
Mika's a little.
Mika, you should try. Go ahead.
Yes.
Give us Ari.
Yes. Give
And
us
then
the
y'all
baby.
kids can be siblings. Yes.
Okay, you gotta
Exactly.
be around. Okay,
He
but
said
come on, bring
exactly.
these
Okay,
kids.
he ready. He
Okay,
ready.
yes, come on, Shauna, bring these kids. Let's go. Y'all gonna be babysitting mine though, because I know I got to go out and stuff. I'm gonna have to go slide through like, yeah, y'all trying to babysit tonight.
I
Girl,
get it.
don't be seen at our house too much. We already labeled as sister mom.
Right.
Oh, wow, people in y'all business, tell them,
Yes. People ask us all the time, like, are y'all all like just committed to one man? I'm like, committed to what? What are we doing? I said, most people
wow.
are
People
committed
just,
to any men,
Right.
to be quite frank. They all just think that Ari is just like the leader of the pack and we just all go to him. Like, have y'all seen Ruthless?
I think Kari's the leader of the pack, if you must know.
definitely.
Yes, Kari is amazing. I love me some Kari.
Kari
She's
is.
definitely the leader. She's
So they think
definitely
it's like a poly relationship.
Yeah.
Yeah, they
The
think
husband and
it's
all
like
y'all are the wives.
yeah, like we just like kind of like how
What
Ruthless
you
is.
drink?
If y'all know Ruthless, they think that Ari is like the highest. I'm like, no, no, that's not how it's going. Yeah,
Yeah.
they often think that, but it's okay. Let people think what they want
They
to.
want to think.
But
Right.
Sean, I'm coming to that baby shower.
All
Yeah,
right,
go T. When you had a little belly. Oh,
Aw.
Okay.
I want to invite. I'll come up. I'll
okay,
come
okay.
up there.
Yes. I'll be there too.
It's
All
only
right,
what, 4 hours, so I'll come on up.
All right.
Um,
and Ari, I know you were getting hit with these crazy lawsuits. Like, how are you holding up? How are you holding up with all that? Like, 'cause I know it
Uh,
could be stressful.
yeah, with more than half my salary is garnished, for just a
okay.
few women that sued me for child support. But that's not what's remarkable that 5 women went back on their word and filed for child support. What's remarkable is that there's 79 women that did not file for child support, and that just speaks so much to Shauna and
Okay.
Devin's character
yeah.
and all these other moms, like because they don't owe me nothing. They don't know me. They could say, listen, we want to do what's best for our child. And, they could rationalize it. It's so easy to just say, well, you know what, we can collect the check for the next 21 years. And the fact that they don't, and, I do have some moms that struggle, and I'm sure they could use the check. Um,
Mhm.
and they don't. And I think that just speaks to the character of so many of the moms. And that surprises me and shocks me every single day what good people are.
Oh
Yeah.
wow.
We're very overprotective too. Like when people ask about, oh, can you refer me to your donor? The first question I ask them, like, okay, so let me ask you a question.
Right.
Mhm.
Times get hard. Will you take them for child support? And they're like, no, we will never. I said, okay, because you can't do that. We're not doing that. You're not coming from us anyway doing that. But
Right.
we would never refer anybody that would try to do any financial harm, physical harm, emotional harm to him because at the end of the day, Ari is very selfless and he gave us something that we could never, ever, ever, ever repay him for,
Mhm.
which
Mm.
is our daughter and hopefully another child.
Mhm.
But those are gifts that those are not just like regular gifts. That's a whole life. That's a lifetime
Mhm.
of, you know, gifts, if you want to ask. So we're very overprotective of him. We don't play about Ari. Now,
Okay.
now somebody will have baby mama drama if they blood.
Child.
Okay. Yes, and I'll second that, Ari, and that the first ladies, we got your back, boo, because we ain't playing. Make us come to wherever you are. We okay. We got
Yeah.
your back, boo. Don't listen. Mm.
Yeah.
Family.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes,
but
we don't play
Are there
about Ari either.
are there any siblings that look just alike? Like, so I know it's all a lot of different moms, but any that you're like, oh my god, they look just alike.
Yeah,
Any?
I get confused. You know who gets confused? Google Photos. It has like facial recognition, and it's always putting in albums, and are like, are these two people the same? I'm like, no. I keep on having to fix their albums because their facial recognition software is not
Oh
working. So you do
wow.
see pairs.
Oh,
And then I don't know. I went to the Bronx Zoo Saturday with twins, and they look nothing alike. And I'm like, wow, I don't understand that. So
Ari, didn't you see somebody that took a picture with you because they know who you were?
yes,
wow.
yeah. But they were like, I know one of your baby mamas. I just don't know which one. I was like, oh. So I guess now I got to the bottom of it. It was someone who worked at the Bronx Zoo.
No,
Yeah.
yeah,
oh
someone
wow.
that worked there. She went to think she went to Old Westbury with me. SUNY Old Westbury.
Yeah, she was like, yeah, I think it's D. And I'm like, I don't know D. I don't know D.
What?
Wow.
Oh my God, I just love you.
We've had people that have been able to identify siblings to Kari without even knowing. We had one of our old neighbors in our own neighborhood was like, I think I work with one of your daughter's siblings. I seen her and they look just alike. And I was like, which one? And they were like, oh, Taraji. And I'm like, yeah, they favor. And I'm like, yeah, they're definitely sisters. Believe it or not, she wakes up in the morning and I'll be like, she looks like Aries today. She looks like Taraji today. She looks like their face. They, for some reason, they have different moms, but they all resemble in some way. And I guess that's Ari's genes.
And the majority of them have Ari's eyes. Like a D shape.
Yes. Oh
Yeah.
my, yes.
Yeah.
Kari does.
Kari,
Those
yeah,
dreamy
Kari
eyes.
does. Kari
Yeah.
has that eyes.
Those bedroom eyes.
Okay. Yes. But don't be getting him excited now. He already said what he said now.
Right.
No need to stay out the bedroom. Yes.
Yes. But you do, yes, but all right, you do look okay. Okay. Yes. You woke up like this, Ari, okay?
He's a mess. But no, on all honesty, like I really do. Actually, I don't have nothing negative to say. I like what you're doing. I like that you're helping people. Like me and Devin and Sean, we talked or whatnot, and we kind of had a little debate too. Like as far as her angle was, what was it? Helping Black women, and then my angle was because they're lesbian. Is this why you get a lot of pushback? Or people being so negative towards it, like two moms, no, it should be a mom and a dad, or that they're minority. So like, what is your take on that?
But it's interesting because I found out today, just during this podcast, that I wasn't their first choice. Initially they asked a Black man to help them, and then it didn't work out because the guy turned down, and then now you want to judge them because that guy said no.
Right.
So that just seems silly. I'm sure if there was a it's like, right, it's 2021. Like, are we really going to judge
Right.
people? And it's two consenting adults. In this case, we're three consenting adults, and society already accepts two moms. They already accept two dads. Is it really that big a stretch to say two moms and a dad? I mean, it just seems much more natural. Do you know what's bizarre is that, well, why don't you just go the normal route? And the normal route is nothing normal about it. It's completely abnormal. What's the normal route? Oh, open up a book and then choose who your child's father is? As bizarre as that is, imagine the child suffering from identity issues and never knowing who their father is. And okay, so I'm not going to be father of the year. I get that. I can't keep up with all my responsibilities. That's true. But, at the bare minimum, I could at least let the child know that I love them, or if they want to know who I am. But this idea of not knowing, I think, is very problematic, and it causes a lot of trauma, I think. And you could just speak to donor conceived children, and they struggle with that. I went to the zoo. I went to the zoo Saturday, and we have a daughter together, and they have an older child that was conceived through a clinic, and they don't know who the father is. And the child sometimes asks, who's my dad? And we're like, oh, you don't have a dad, and it's he's 6, so he's all right. He doesn't have a dad, but he sees me come to visit his younger sister, and he sees that his younger sister has a father, and she told me just in the park that we're like, oh, I wish I met you before, and of course then she wouldn't have had her son, and she's very much in love with his son. But a lot of the families that reached out to me that already had children from donor conceived children beforehand that said, well, you know what, that you're coming to visit the kid, and then my older daughter's asking questions, can you be a dad to her as well? So I know I have 84 biological children, but a lot of other children are calling me dad as well, because once you have 84, what's one or two more?
Well, make me cry.
Sorry.
What I
I'm
was
not
gonna,
even doing this with y'all right now.
what I was gonna ask you, Ari, hold on. What I was gonna ask you was,
You're crying.
oh my God.
Oh my God,
Ari?
Devin, you crying too?
Yes.
Oh
I'm
my God.
not
Y'all, I need some tissue.
But that is deep
Come
because
on. Yeah.
yes, and
It's tough. Yes.
but
yes.
that is deep, Ari, because
Wow.
even those who like, yeah, I know my daddy, right? But I don't know my daddy, and my mama did it the natural, quote unquote natural way, you know. I don't know my father. I don't even talk to my father. So to have you want to, I can't ask you, you want to be my daddy, but never mind.
I definitely can't be your sugar daddy. I'll tell you that right now. It's not in the budget. I could be a pimp daddy. I could be a baby daddy. Those are the two daddies I'm on. I could do either one of those daddies.
Listen now. Listen, I have my own daddy, so I
Okay, good.
I'm good. But thanks for the offer. But no, all jokes aside, though, you're hilarious. But like it speaks volume to who you are as a person because, like I said, yeah, I know my father, but I can't call my father and him pick up the phone and me ask him questions like your children can. If they want to pick up the phone and call you or FaceTime you, they can do that freely. So that's just, let me stop because I'm a cry.
Can I say something really quick?
Yes.
I know Ari mentioned in the beginning of the last little statement he made, he didn't know that he wasn't the first choice. But what I will say is thank you to the choice that didn't work out because Ellie is the best choice that we could have made. Yes. So we are thankful for his indecisiveness. We thank him for that because Kari wouldn't be the same Kari without Ari.
Right. This is true. And she is spicy, honey. Yes.
Yeah. She is that girl.
Boy. We still stuck on her interview when she was okay.
It's spicy. Yeah. So, and I had a question, right? So as far as, have you ever considered helping, like, let's say, a gay male couple and they had a surrogate? Like you would give your sperm to their surrogate?
I have many gay men that reach out to me asking me for help, but for other perverted reasons, not for growing their family. They have enough sperm between the two of them that it would be very unlikely that they would need me to produce for them. You know, they want my sperm for other reasons.
Oh no, that's just nasty.
Oh, that's when you got a dog.
Well, all right.
Ari, you need an OnlyFans.
Okay.
That was good. You know what? You all right with me.
And Ari, do you still you're still teaching? Yes.
Yes, of course.
Are you
online.
a professor? Oh, okay.
Yes, I teach mathematics and computer science at a university here in Brooklyn.
Okay, I thought so. Bless your heart. And they don't pay us teachers a lot, so yes. My prayers are with you on the money.
Well, I'm just glad they're not paying us by how much our students are learning because I don't know what they're learning. I think all cheating on the exams. Exactly.
Yeah, you heard it here first.
Yeah, all that virtual, it's hard to do.
Yeah, but I go back in 2022.
Okay.
Oh, 2022. Okay.
March of 2022 is when we're going back in person. Yeah.
Okay.
I've been out since 2019.
Oh wow! Yeah, since okay.
But it allows me to travel more. I'm not beholden to being stuck, and of course, I've had more children because of it. Because I'm able to go from place to place. Of course, usually if I'm working Monday through Thursday, and they're ovulating on Wednesday, well, then we got to be till next cycle. But now it really wouldn't matter. And then flights have been so affordable as well. So I have women pregnant in over 10 states right now, and then plus Europe and Africa.
Okay.
New York, New Jersey, Connecticut, Pennsylvania, Maryland. I have Florida, Alabama is due next month, and then Texas, Tennessee, New Hampshire, Massachusetts.
Okay.
Wow.
Oh, you all over. Okay.
So when you go, they pay for you to go, right? You don't have to pay the expenses when you have to travel.
Yep, generally. These flights have been so affordable during COVID, so it wasn't like, well, you want to give me the $30. Like sometimes the flights were like $10. It was really ridiculous. But the vast majority of the women are New York, New Jersey, Connecticut. So they're local. Then Kari costs around $1.50, I think, to conceive. That was it. I don't know if you paid for the subway or you jumped the turnstile, but we could add the $2.75 and
$2.75. Well, actually $5.50.
Yeah.
Both of us got, and then the soft cup was 79 cents, right? So
yeah.
So, yeah, and then all of that money they could save to help raise the child. So
exactly.
There you go.
And I believe that Kari is going to do amazing things, and that she's going to eventually take care of us as her parents because I see so much greatness in her.
Yeah.
And I just want to say
I
thank
see a great babysitter for Shauna's future child in
Okay.
there.
Okay.
Okay.
Ari.
Ari is not playing.
I
Kari is
see
not,
that too. Yes, Shauna. Yes, mama. Yes.
but
Yes.
I just want to take a time to say thank you because it's not enough media out there that has the moms to actually say thank you. And even though it's going to be, I'm sure it's going to be some negative comments and all of that, but they can keep it to themselves. For me and my wife, we are thankful.
Yes.
We are thankful for you, everything that you do, even the calls. When she wants to call, you always answer. And that means a lot to us because growing up without a father that didn't want to answer the phone, it means a lot to us. And people don't understand the part that you do play. They only want to say the part that you don't play. But that
Mhm.
was never required of you to play a part. So
Right.
Yeah.
let's start from there. So the part that you do play, we just want to say thank you from the bottom of our hearts because Kari is a blessing like no other. Um, hopefully soon we'll have another blessing. Oh, and just to let you know, Ari, because you don't know, and I don't think the ladies know. I think Mika only know that we are planning to move to like Maryland soon.
Oh, is that why you asked me about that area, Shauna? Okay. Okay.
Because we're planning
Like,
on
where that
Yes,
moving.
girl.
coming
Everybody trying to come
from?
home. Yes.
I'll
Yeah,
babysit.
but it's
They
important
gonna
for us
they
for
gonna
Ari,
be up
I
north.
mean for Kari to have
I
a
have
close
two women
relationship.
pregnant in Maryland. Plus, we got three kids there already.
Mhm. And Kari and Aries are like this.
Right.
We were
Right.
pregnant at the same time, so
Mhm.
they're like really close, and that's important for us to have a really good bond with her siblings that are close enough for her to have a bond with. And I can't stop saying thank you enough, even though I know you're probably like, oh, because that's
Isn't
just
that,
Ari. But
what's bizarre is that, a couple years ago, I took 5 minutes out of my day. I watched some porn. I touched myself. I enjoyed it. And here
Okay.
it is, years later, and she's still thanking me. She's still thanking me for what I did a couple years ago. I took 5 minutes out of my day. That's all it took. And every day she's still thanking me. We so appreciate you. I'm the one who should be thanking her. Look what she's doing for my daughter every single day in, day out. Both of them just are the best parents, giving Kari so much love and so much attention and so much joy. And
We
then
don't
they're
know they
thanking me.
you
And
are
it's
like,
just bizarre
dang.
world. It makes no sense.
But
Yeah.
we want to
I
thank
just
each
can't
other.
do
We
this.
want to
Yeah.
thank
Thank
each
each other.
other because without us and without you, it
Right.
wouldn't be no her. So let's thank each other for
Yes.
what we did. And I don't feel like you have to thank me at all. This is something that we wanted. We
What a
came and
word.
sought you out for something that we wanted, and you came and you delivered, and
Thank
you
you. Yeah.
delivered an amazing gift, and you keep on giving, and then stop at dropping off a cup, and you on your way. You kept on giving. It wasn't a wham bam, thank you, ma'am. Okay, you giving. So like, the same way you can say thank you to us, we have to say thank you to you because we don't have sperm. We
Mhm.
don't have sperm. So without you, it wouldn't have been nothing. So we do thank you, and we love you. You are family to us. And I the lady on I said, "Oh, he's just a visitor." Well, baby, look, he gonna be a visitor to you, but he is family to us.
That's
Okay.
right.
He's gonna
That
be
Okay.
family to us.
Okay. Because
So,
she pissed me off when she said that.
that is right.
She
That
had my
is
temperature
right.
up high. My vitals was high.
We are getting all emotional up in here.
It was, and I just love Ari how you just be like, yeah. So I did this for 5 minutes, and bam, and but it's you for me, honey. It's you for me because everything about you is awesome.
Did you ladies have anything else?
Yeah, I wanted to ask Ari, like many, many years from now, many years when your children are older, what do you want them when they think of dad, like what is it that you want them to think like as far as a legacy that you're leaving? What do you think what would you want them to say about their father?
Y- You know, uh, the truth is, I'm not gonna. Father's Day is coming up. I'm not Father of the Year. Okay, I know they appreciate, but I can't be. it's just physically impossible. Of course, I don't have a high bar to set because I'm trying to beat some anonymous frozen sperm donor who would have been zero. So I do my best, and I try at least to the bare minimum let the children know I love them every day, right? Um, but they're not going to have me in their life forever. That's just life, right? No child has their parents forever, and but they do have their brothers and sisters forever. So what my I think the greatest gift my parents gave me was my brothers and sisters, and I think even if I can't provide financially, for my children, I think I gave them something that's worth much, much more, and of course, we're all hoping Kari has a sibling coming soon, but a lot of the moms, when they reached out to me, they were 40 years old, and another sibling maybe wasn't as much of an option, because it was too difficult, or if they were a single mom, they couldn't really give their child a brother or a sister because all the challenges. So they appreciate the fact that now their child has brothers and sisters, and the child won't be an only child. So I hope that my wish for my children would be, that they love their brothers and sisters, and I think helping them bond as they grow up, it goes a long way.
Oh,
Oh.
you're a unicorn. Like, you're too good to be true.
Yeah.
It's just all magical, majestic in here.
It is. I feel bubbly.
Me, I told you, like,
Well, it could be the alcohol, but either way, I think we all need to toast because
I have it.
y'all is just amazing up in here.
Yes.
And clean.
yes. So Toast is an amazing, amazing man, amazing human being, helping other women and families grow into the mommies.
Yes,
Allow them to be still be part of their children's lives, because that's what, thinking about the children, that's what you're doing. You're thinking about who you've created. It's not about you as parents, it's about the babies. So cheers to you both and all the moms and families that you blessed, Ari. So I love you.
Yes. And before we let you guys go, I know Shauna, guys, did you want to plug your YouTube site?
Yes, we have a YouTube channel called Vanderhorse Love. And oh, look at you,
Ready. Okay.
And we made this YouTube just for you guys to see. You guys judge us from the outside, but this is an inside. This to let you see how our child is being raised, since y'all got so much to say.
Okay.
So y'all can see for yourself. Like, this is we are a family. Whether you look at it from the left or the right or in front of it, we are a family on all sides. So just tune in and you get to know us a little better. You get to especially know Kari a little better. We will start a family channel soon. This is kind of just a channel for me and Sean. Kari is, featured a couple of times, but we definitely wanted to start our channel first, because we have to know that everybody who subscribes is got good intentions in their heart, and before we put our baby on the screen. So we join the family, come to Vanderhorse Love, get your little kikis, and we turn up. And Ari is featured on our channel.
Yay.
So, just get to know more about us. You got so many questions that you want to ask. Trust me, get to know more about us, and you will get all your answers on how our baby is being raised and how our family dynamic is.
Yes.
Awesome.
Okay. Yes. So thank you guys for joining us tonight.
We love y'all so much.
Baby, drop a thug tear. Like, come on now.
Those was real tears. Those was real. They was all real.
Ari, thank you so much for everything that you are truly doing for all these women and blessing them with these beautiful, amazing babies. Like, thank you so much for that. Appreciate it.
We love you, Ari. We love
Ari.
Yes.
Love you too.
So much.
Love you all.
All right, guys.
Love you guys.
Love you. Thank you so much.
Bye, mommies.